And welcome back to the Lukewarm Wanderer. Today we're definitely going to need to wander out of our little base area and probably go find some more coal and some other resources. I know for the most part we've kind of been in this general vicinity and doing some adventuring out of that vicinity, but I definitely think we're going to need to find some coal and we need to find some wax so we could finish our big boat. I've been doing a little bit of research on getting honeycomb and kind of the methodology of finding and acquiring honeycomb and beehives. So we'll definitely have to actually go explore and find some. I did a little bit of kind of wandering and looking around before jumping back in here with you guys, and I found this large meadow up here to the north of us a little bit. We take a little rowboat up and over and check out this big meadow and see if we can find something over here. And we're definitely going to need to come over here to this village and see if we can acquire a composter, because we have so much leaf litter. We definitely need to use it for something, and we might as well make some bone meal out of it. I think this is going to be our last episode of A Nameless Cat. Hopefully everybody gets their name suggestions in either on this video or the previous two, and we'll be able to name our cat. First things first, though, I think what we need to do is we're going to need to start with building a backpack. I installed the Traveler's backpack mod, and I think we're going to have everything that we're going to need. We will have, as soon as we go find some cows, where I think we need 4 pieces of leather. Sorry, my brain kind of went blank there for a second. We're also going to add a little bit more storage to our main farm storage. As well as, I don't know why I built 3 of them. I really only needed 2 of them. We'll put one over here just in case. And we had 3 more in that chest. So we need to go find 4 pieces of leather, and we have the string. Yep, we have the string with us, and we have a crafting table. So we'll be able to actually go make we should be able to actually make our backpack out here in this little wandering session that we're about to go on. We're going to wander up into this old growth birch forest, because I did see some cows up here earlier, and it looks like there's some cows up on the mini map. And we're only going to need 4 pieces. While we're en route, though, we might as well get all the wool we can need, because we're going to need a lot of carpet. Let's go around this big hole so we don't fall in it. That's the last thing we want to do right now, is fall into a big hole and then have to climb our way out of it. There should be a cow over here. We'll grab the axe. This should be a little quicker. My bad, Mr. Sheep. I was going after your cow buddy up here. But unfortunately, it looks like that did not give us any leather, so we're going to have to keep on going. If anybody has a better methodology on getting leather, like consistently, please feel free to let me know. Oh, he went around a tree. Almost, he was trying to get away. That's 3. We're only going to need 1 more, so it looks like everything is going to pan out. Oh, still got to find 1 more cow. I guess I spoke too soon. There's another cow over here, it looks like. I really do like this mini map, as well as the main map that it's connected to. It definitely makes it less repetitive of just trying to run around, and hopefully we find something. It gives us a little bit more ability to see what's going on. We're still short one piece of leather, so we'll have to go up through this little area and through the rest of this old growth forest to see if we can find one more cow. It looks like there's some cows up on the edge of this dark forest up here to the north. We'll go over here and hopefully we can get one or two more pieces of leather while we're out and about. Be able to build our backpack. There we go. There's our cow that we're looking for. And there's our fourth piece of leather. So what we're going to need is we need this here, 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 and here. And then one piece there. That should have created it. Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll save that for a rainy day. We do need to go back to our little home base though and drop a bunch of equipment off since the backpack didn't seem to craft like I was expecting it to. I'll do a little bit more research in between this video and the next, and hopefully by the next video we can have a backpack. This should make our travels much more consistent. That is the one tricky part I find about wandering. That's kind of why I end up having a home base a lot of the time, and I don't wander as much as I would like to. It's purely based off the fact that I end up filling up my inventory ridiculously quick. I'm kind of a resource hoarder, honestly, when it comes to Minecraft. I just take everything and anything I possibly think we might need. We'll be able to get some cooked beef here momentarily as well when we get back to our base camp. I've got 30 pieces of beef in on my inventory. I did do a little bit of food gathering earlier. That's part of the reason I have so much beef, and yet I tried a different backpack mod and I assembled that one, and I just didn't like the functionality. It acted too much like a bundle. I find bundles to be kind of obnoxious, honestly. But it looks like we are almost back to our main little area. There is a zombie behind us, so A, hopefully they don't catch us, and B, hopefully we can still sleep. I should really put a door on this. I think I have a door in our wood chest. Let's check really fast. I do have an oak door. Well, that's perfect. We'll put an oak door. I don't like it there. Let's move it really fast. We'll put our oak door right here. There we go. It sticks out a little ways, but that's fine. I think I have a way to make that look a little bit better with it sticking out. We'll put a piece of glass here. And then we'll put our trapdoor on the glass to kind of give it like a little paned window look. There we go. It's a little more homey now. I guess what we can also do is this. We'll grab two more. And we'll put two more up here. And for the time being, because this is our main overflow, if you will, we'll put our flowers and a bunch of the wool in here. as well as this miscellaneous lever and the bone and the rotten flesh. And then, let's see. We won't need the string right now. Probably won't need the glass at the moment. And I'll put the main stack in there. I'm actually going to put our leather in this bundle. And we'll see what we have going on here. So we have coal and charcoal, lapis and raw iron, and then green and gray carpet. We'll keep the green and gray carpet in there for the time being. We'll come over here back to our resource chest. We can put our lapis in there. And then we do have some coal. I did forget, we do have the coal blocks. We still need to use those up. I'll load our coal up. Throw half of it in each one. I did have some in there, but that'll be fine. And actually, we're going to take this coal out because I have a smoker over here. We'll put this in here and then put that in the smoker. That'll cook a little bit quicker. And we'll put our charcoal up here. Can I put a bundle inside the bundle? I can put a bundle inside the bundle. That's bundleception right there. There we go. We've got some iron. We'll put some iron over here. We'll put the rest of the glass with our glass. We've got 39 blocks of glass. Oh, didn't mean to drop those. Okay, we have a fairly empty inventory now. So I think what we'll do is let's go see what we can find as far as resources. I know that over here somewhere there should be a large cave system. I kind of saw it earlier when I was riding up the coast to see what I could see over this way. I believe that's the cave in question. We have 3 torches with us. I guess we could have used part of that coal to make some more torches. But I do believe the minute we find some coal, we'll end up making some more torches as well. Yep, this is the cave in question, but we're going to go around so we can get a little bit closer to the cave, I think. I think if we go this way, we can get there. Look at that. We'll come walking around here, and then I think what we'll do is we'll just end up taking the waterfall down part of the way, at least to this first coal vein. And then we'll just keep moving on down here. Let's grab this iron while we're here. So that was kind of nice. Might be a little more difficult once we I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, we just got hit by a spider. And that zombie is not really happy with us, and we didn't put our armor back on, so we are actually going to panic and run away. That's what we're going to do. We're going to panic and run away. Yeah, we're going to panic and run away for a minute. That was not necessarily the smartest decision. We probably should have checked the fact that we have no armor icons over our health. We really shouldn't adventure without armor. That's just never good to do. I took my armor off earlier because I wanted to get a decent screenshot and not have the armor blocking my skin, and because I still can't find a decent mod that lets me hide my armor and show the skin. But it's a good thing we were only like 300 or 400 meters away from our base, so we can just grab our... We'll just grab our armor and head back out. I'm not sure if we really want to attack that cave. I think it's a little more populated than I was expecting. But we know it's there now, which is kind of nice. It should be in this chest, right? Nope, it's this one. Okay. So now we know that we have that. There we go. And our armor is back on. And you know what? We've done a lot of boat exploration. So I think once we get that bigger boat, it should be a lot easier to navigate some of these larger waterways. That being said, we're going to go up and around where that cave was. But we're going to cut across and probably run up through this birch forest. And I really do want to check out that meadow again, see if I can find another beehive over there, or a bee nest. I think they're bee nests when they're on the trees. I mean, either way, it's technically a beehive, I guess. But while we're paddling up here, I just do want to say thank you for everybody viewing the videos that you guys have watched, and hopefully you guys are all enjoying them as much as I'm enjoying making them. We do have a bed on us, so that way we'll be able to sleep in the field if need be, instead of having to come back out every time and back to the base to go through a night cycle. We'll be able to just sleep out wherever we are. And look at that. We came across another beehive. Okay. So, that being said, we have some coal, and I'm pretty sure we have some sticks. So we'll have to cut a tree down. Because what we need to do is we need to cut the tree down, and we need to gather some logs. I just need 3 logs, I believe. Let's see if I can remember how to do this one. This one, here, here, and here. And then 1 piece of coal there. That should give us a campfire. And what we'll do is we'll put the campfire down here. And then I have the shears. So what we'll do is we'll shear this like a sheep. Look at that. We got 3. That's awesome. We have 3 honeycomb. And we'll probably just keep that going. Okay, good to know, good to know, good to know. Now we know how to successfully get stuff out of beehives. And you know what? We'll take this campfire because there's no reason to leave it just running. But that is good to know. So we successfully found a beehive. And then what we'll do is we'll come back over here and go, you know what? We're not going to go back to the base. Just because we have 1 valuable asset does not mean we have to hightail it back to our chest to put it in there. If we lose it, we lose it. But what we are going to do is we're going to, well, we don't have a bed on us. That sucks. So we're going to stay in the boat for a little bit longer. And we're just going to paddle up here. We'll probably paddle not the entire night, but the majority of it. There's a sea turtle back there. That's kind of cool to see the sea turtles. I know once we get up and around this this beach, we'll probably have to gather some flowers. What I would like to do ultimately would be gather enough resources in order to have our own beehive over by our base, so that way we don't have to travel as far when we do need things like wax or honey. I don't know if you can get honey in this, but that would be kind of cool. I do see... Oh, I keep spinning in a circle. I do see this little vessel over here, but it's got a creeper on it, and I don't really feel like getting blown up by a creeper today. I think what we'll do is we'll come around this little bit of sand here. There's some lava over that way. That's good to know. There's one of those dudes that likes to throw things at me. They're kind of mean. I believe that's a witch up on the mini map. Yeah, it is. And they're kind of mean too. I think they throw things at you too. This game likes to throw things at you. You know, this is another session of recording this gameplay and talking through it that I again was gonna set a stopwatch, and I again forgot to turn the stopwatch on. So I think we're just gonna play for a couple night cycles and see how it goes. I'm not sure what that... Maybe a parrot? I don't know. We'll find out. It's over here. Let's see what that entity is. It was a parrot. Look at that. There's a cool little parrot guy up there. I didn't realize that we were in a jungle biome. Let's see where we're at on the map. So we are up here. The village that is in question is down here. We can check that out. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of move. We'll jump back in the boat and we'll paddle around here and get to this little area over here. So what we'll do is we'll set a temporary waypoint for that right there. And then get back in the boat. Good, I am going the right way. I just wanted to make sure I was going the right way. Last thing we want to do is end up going the wrong way for a while and then have to backtrack. Nothing's wrong with going the wrong way on adventures like this, since we're just, after all, we are just out here wandering. It's a big bamboo forest off to our right. Looks like a decent jungle off to our left. It's a cool little lagoon or cove or whatever. So it looks like we're about 1,200 meters out from our base, which isn't all that far, honestly. I think what we're going to end up doing is probably hitting 2 objectives kind of with 1 stone. So here is where we're going to jump out of the boat here and get up and over this hillside. It's a good thing I brought a shovel, because I think we're going to be moving a lot of dirt if need be. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump up over this hill. And we're going to tower up a little bit here and there just to kind of make things work a little bit quicker. That doesn't really look good. I'm not really sure what this is. If anybody knows what this is, feel free to let me know. It does not look happy though. So I think instead of like investigating that right now, I think what we'll do is we'll head up here to this village. This village is off to our west. So we'll push over here to the west and see what we can find. We're doing a lot of jumping around. You know what? I think we can take this one solo zombie. Look at that, I took the solo zombie. I'm gonna come over here and grab this iron. It's kind of nice to see iron just exposed like that. There's a lot more iron over there too, it looks like. We do have quite a bit of iron back at our base camp, but it never hurts to have more iron, especially when it comes to finding coal right next to it. Typically iron is normally as far as I go as far as like armor. I've done the diamond thing once or twice, but I've never really gone I've never really got any further than that. Especially since I don't even think when I really was playing a lot back in the 360 days, I don't think there was anything better than diamond. I think diamond was kind of the highest tier you could get. We're gonna take these zombies out real fast. These guys are kind of upsetty spaghetti, it looks like. And there's a spider. And we're getting punched. We need to run away for a minute. We're not really running away. We're just regrouping so we can figure out a better method of taking these guys out. Okay, there we go. Sun's coming out and those guys are taken out. We probably should get a sword again. I think we have one in our tool chest, but it didn't really dawn on me to grab it. I'm going to see if we can take this creeper out without getting blown up too bad. Except he has a buddy. When they work in pairs like this, it's never a good thing. We're going to try to run up here to this open area. There we go, we got him. Now, we're just going to bypass his buddy and see if we can bypass him without his buddy getting mad and trying to blow us up. We're almost to that village. I can see the village in question. Sunlight coming up, it's kind of nice. I've never really been much to explore a savanna biome, but there's another little waypoint thingy. So what we're looking for right now is we are looking for their farm and a composter. And in the process, we'll see what we can do as far as like when they have seeds and stuff like this, we'll try to pick them all up. This is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if these actually have like dedicated farm fields like a traditional plains village does, because they seem to be very terraced. Let's see what they've got in these chests. We can do a little bit of ransacking. We'll take their seeds, because we're gonna probably end up building a larger farm ourselves. Yeah, it looks like these, either it's the way that these villages just are created, or it's the way that this seed has created these villages. Makes them very kind of odd. Oh, there's cows back there. We don't want to let their cows out. We'll see if anything's in this other one. Just another smoker. I was hoping to find a composter so we could use up a lot of our organic matter and make some bone meal out of it, so we could kind of build a better, like build some more structures and do some more farming. But I don't think these guys have a composter anywhere. It's definitely not in their little cow pen. Well, this is a savanna village. We'll look at the map here in a second after we get up probably closer to the top of this hill and see what we can find. See, I know that they have a farmer, which would tell me that they have a composter somewhere. I do believe that's what it means from what I understand and what I've done some research on, is that that's how they get their job. Is by having like the methodology, like they get their job with like whatever tool or method that they need to do their job with. But it doesn't look like they actually have a composter in this village, so we'll probably have to move on to the next village. Let's see what we can find. That's a very interesting stripe down that Stony Peaks area. There's a broken nether portal up to our northwest. So this looked like, this is that outpost thing that looked kind of odd, that I wasn't really sure what was. So we can move back down here, and then this waterway would eventually get us back to our base. So it looks like we're just going to kind of move back down into this plains region here. We'll probably like kind of explore this general vicinity, because after all, we are just wandering. Grab some more coal. That was a big vein. Never hurts to have too much coal. That's emerald right there. We'll grab that emerald as well. That'll be kind of nice. Look at that. Emerald and some iron. And some more coal. A lot more coal. That's a big vein too. I do like to find big veins of coal. It kind of just, it makes it a lot easier when we're having to make a bunch of material or a bunch of stuff in furnaces or torches or whatever we might need for that particular thing that we're making. I think after this vein we're going to get a little more selective, because I think we should have, yeah, we've got a stack. So let's just go after a lot of this iron and stuff now. There is a bunch of iron over there, but that looks a little precarious to get to. So I think what we're going to do, I saw a little bit of stuff over here. We'll grab our axe again and see if we can get this guy. There we go. We got one skeleton that was kind of being a little pain. And then we'll grab more of this iron here. We'll make a few. Make 20 torches, so we'll have 23 total torches. We'll explore this area. Get rid of this skeleton guy. Interesting. I'm not sure what the looks like coal, but I can't tell where that coal is on my, like, from my mini map. Looks like that there's some there. Oh wow. Found a bunch more up here. These are rather large veins, it looks like. Man, a lot of this stuff is like, looks like it's interconnected somehow. Like, here's some more iron. Yeah, that was a big vein of iron, and I bet that was a big vein of coal on top of that iron. I will admit, I do like playing with Vein Miner. It does make it a lot faster and a lot more efficient to get a lot of material. But that does look like it is a rather large vein of coal somewhere where we were. So we'll come up here and see if we can find it. Given the fact, though, that we dug into this vein of iron, I bet that's above us. Indeed it is. Look at that. Managed to get all the coal. What do we have? We have 1, 2, like 2 1/4 stacks, it looks like. These are massive veins of coal. The stony peaks are very, very beneficial when it comes to doing a lot of mining. Got another couple more emeralds, some more iron. Let's just keep going up. We're probably going to bypass a lot of other stuff, but we're going to see what we can see from up here. Let's see. There's some more emeralds across the way, some more iron, some more emeralds. Definitely an interesting little area. It's always cool when there's like these little valleys, like little bowls with greenery in them around the stony peak, with the stony peaks around them. There's a big iron vein down there. There's a lot of iron, a lot of coal and a lot of iron. What do we have for iron? We've got 44 iron. We might as well go back with a full stack. So we'll get down here. That kind of hurt. Well, we're going to do our best, because I think we're probably going to end up breaking our pickaxe before we end up getting the stack like we want. But just in case, let's put this down here so we can keep a track on how much we're actually getting. We're getting pretty close, that is, and I think this little, whatever chunk we grab next is going to be our last little bit. So let's grab, there's 3 exposed on that one rather than just the 2, so let's try to grab that one. And it is getting dark again, so I believe that should be Yep, okay. So let's see, we ended up with 58 total, and I think we're out of pickaxe. So we are out of pickaxe. We could make another pickaxe really fast, though, actually. We're here, and we have the iron, so we might as well. Let's make one more pickaxe. And then let's grab this remaining piece that we didn't grab. That's the axe. We probably need to use the pickaxe for that. There we go. Now we're up to 59. So all we need is 5 more pieces. We should probably eat a bunch more bread. There we go. We need to heal up as much as we can just in case. Like just in case a zombie decides to jump out. Try to schwack us. Let's schwack him before he schwacks us. Okay, let's see. One more piece of iron. Let's see if we can find one more piece. There's one more piece. There we go. We are at 64 pieces of iron. That was a massive coal vein. And I believe that coal vein might have been connected to something else. Underneath. Well, we'll do some mining and see. That is the one tricky part, though, about vein miner is you never really know. You never really know where the additional material would be. Like if we like you can see the red dots up on the mini map, they're clearly indicating that we took out some more material. And it looks like it's right there. So this was like underneath one of the smaller veins. Ended up being a much larger vein. So that's the one tricky part is if the veins are connected, it will, you do end up mining everything that's connected to those veins. That's why it always takes a second and double check the mini map, make sure there's no little red dots of dropped items anywhere. That pretty much fills our inventory up. We have one open slot in case we do end up coming across something else that we absolutely need to pick up. So I think we should probably start making our way back. It's going to be a long journey. So I think we're just going to slowly meander that way. We might end up breaking it into a couple of different parts. So, if you've enjoyed this so far, please feel free to leave a like and a comment. And that way we can kind of keep the engagement going. And since we can, yeah, I got a little sidetracked there for a second, my bad. But yeah, we're going to break this into 2 different parts. It'll be 2 different journeys of, at least two journeys of seeking a composter and trying to find a composter. So if you've liked it so far, please feel free to, do all the fun stuff and like and subscribe and leave a comment, whatever the cool YouTubers say, you know what I mean? But for the time being, I hope everybody has a fantastically wonderful day. And I'll catch you guys in part 2 of the search for a composter.